My 24M girlfriend, 23F, brought up a threesome, first with another woman, then with a man. I'm confused, kind of disgusted, and questioning everything. Need advice? Hey Reddit? Throwaway account because I honestly don't know how to talk about this with anyone I know IRL. I've never posted here before, but I've read enough threads to know this place can offer solid, if brutally honest, perspectives. So here goes. I, Jake, 24M, have been with my girlfriend Emily, 23F, for a little over 2 years now. We met in college, moved to the same city after graduation, and things have been pretty great overall. She's funny, kind, thoughtful, smart, and just genuinely one of my favorite people to be around. We've talked seriously about moving in together next year, and for the most part, we've had a healthy, communicative, adventurous relationship, emotionally and sexually. We've never had issues talking about fantasies or desires. In fact, I've always appreciated how open and non-judgmental she is about sex. So when, a couple of weeks ago, she brought up the idea of a threesome, I wasn't completely shocked. The way she framed it was super casual, like, hey, have you ever thought about trying something like a threesome someday? I asked what she meant, and she said she was curious about what it might be like to bring in another woman. Honestly, that lit a fire in me. I think for a lot of straight guys, it's a bit of a stereotypical fantasy, 2 women, me in the middle, that kind of thing. I know it's not realistic to treat it like porn, but the idea got me kind of excited. We talked a little more about it, and while it wasn't like we were making plans, we were both kind of intrigued. I liked that she felt safe enough with me to even bring it up. But then, about 4 days later, she brought it up again, this time with a twist. She asked me how I'd feel about doing a threesome with another man. And my reaction to that was completely different. I didn't say anything rude or shut her down harshly, but inside, I just recoiled. I felt anxious, uncomfortable, even kind of sick to my stomach. The conversation didn't last long after that, but ever since then, it's been stuck in my head like a thorn I can't get out. What really messed with me is that she seemed equally curious about both scenarios, like she genuinely wanted to explore both sides of it. And that's where I started spiraling. Here's where I need help. 1. Why do I feel so disgusted by the idea of another man? I hate admitting this, but my brain went straight to insecurity. I started imagining the guy being more attractive than me, better in bed, making her feel things I couldn't. I know it's irrational, but it felt like a threat. Like it was less of a fantasy and more of a direct comparison. With another woman, it didn't feel like that. It felt playful, exploratory. With another man, it felt competitive, like someone else encroaching on our bond. Is that just my ego talking? 2. Am I a hypocrite for being okay with another woman, but grossed out by a man? I've seen this argument online before, and I can't stop wondering if I'm just being unfair. Emily didn't say she prefers either, just that she was curious about both. I said I'd think about it, but I haven't brought it up again because I genuinely don't know how to process it. 3. Is it normal for this kind of thing to shake your whole view of your relationship? I trust Emily. She's never cheated, never made me feel insecure before this. But now, I'm questioning whether we're sexually compatible long-term. If she wants to explore other people, even in a consensual, shared way, does that mean she's not fully satisfied? Or is this just a healthy curiosity that I'm overreacting to? To be fair to her, she wasn't pressuring me. She literally said, "You don't have to be into this. I just wanted to know if you'd ever thought about it." So it's not like she gave me an ultimatum or anything. But I can't help but feel like the door's open now. and I don't know how to close it without seeming controlling or insecure. This is the first time in our relationship I've felt genuinely unsteady, like I'm unsure if we're on the same page about the future. I don't want to shame her for being honest with me, but I also don't want to pretend I'm okay with something if I'm really not. Has anyone else gone through something like this? Is there a way to navigate this without breaking trust or making things worse? Hey everyone. I didn't expect my original post to get as much attention as it did, but I want to say a sincere thank you to everyone who commented, messaged, or just read it. I spent a lot of time reading through your responses, the thoughtful ones, the brutally honest ones, even the ones that called me out, and honestly, it gave me a lot of perspective I didn't have when I first posted. Here's what's happened since. 1. I talked to Emily, really talked. A few days after my post, I sat down with Emily and told her everything I'd been feeling. I explained how the conversation about a threesome with another guy made me feel insecure, threatened, confused, and how it had been on my mind constantly. I was honest about how different my reaction was compared to the idea of a threesome with another woman. To her credit, she listened without getting defensive. She actually thanked me for opening up and said she had no idea it had hit me that hard. She reiterated that she wasn't trying to push any boundaries or test me. It was a fantasy she was curious about, not a hidden desire she was dying to act on. She said she'd never do anything I wasn't 100% comfortable with and that this was about us exploring together, not her chasing something solo. That helped. A lot. 2. We unpacked the double standard. We talked about the reality that many straight guys, myself included, are more open to the idea of another woman, but balk at the idea of another man. Emily brought up that, from her perspective, the threesome with a guy wasn't about comparing or replacing me, it was more about being in a dominant/feminine sandwich dynamic, something she thought could be exciting if we were both into it. She wasn't picturing some super-hung sex god who was going to outdo me in bed. That part was in my head, and I had to own that. She even said, if you had a fantasy about watching me with another woman, wouldn't that feel like you were getting something extra, not being replaced? That clicked. It helped me reframe it. Still, I was honest that I'm not ready to go there, and maybe never will be. She said that was totally fine and that she appreciated me even being willing to have the conversation. 3. We set some boundaries and expectations. Neither of us is in a rush to make anything happen. We agreed that just talking about fantasies doesn't mean we have to act on them. I told her I was more open to continuing conversations about a female/female/male threesome, but that anything involving another guy would need to be off the table for now. She respected that. We also made it clear that if either of us starts feeling unfulfilled or pressured, it's on us to bring it up, not bury it or act out behind the other's back. 4. I've learned a lot about myself. This whole situation forced me to confront some things I hadn't really examined before, like how fragile male ego can be, how possessive I can feel without realizing it, and how vulnerability can feel like weakness even when it's just honesty. I've got a long way to go, but I'm glad I didn't shut the conversation down completely. Because it turns out, Emily and I are stronger for it.